At the family reunion, in front of 52 people, my aunt raised her hand and announced that adopted children should step aside for the real family photo. My 7-year-old daughter was the only adopted child there. Everyone turned to look at her. 52 pairs of eyes. All watching. All waiting. Sophie stepped out of the group. Alone. She stood to the side while everyone else smiled for the camera. Blood relatives only. Real family only. Not her. After the photo, she asked me why she could not be in the picture. I told her the truth. Because they do not think you are real family. She cried silently for 3 hours that night. I did not shout. I did not make a scene. I documented everything. The next morning, 200 people received an email with photos. Side-by-side comparisons. The family photo with 52 people. Sophie standing alone to the side. The subject line was, "How my family treated my adopted daughter." By noon, my mother's phone was ringing non-stop. By evening, half her social circle had stopped speaking to her. July 12th started as a celebration. The Thompson family reunion. Held every 5 years. This year was special. 52 family members. 3 generations. Coming from 12 different states. My parents had been planning for 18 months. They had rented a lodge in the mountains. Booked cabins. Hired a caterer. Hired a professional photographer. Everything perfect. Everything planned. Everything designed to show how strong our family was. How connected. How unified. I had been looking forward to it. Rachel Thompson, that is my name. I am 34 years old. I work as an HR manager for a tech company. Have been for 9 years. My job is managing people. Documenting policies. Enforcing standards. Ensuring fair treatment. I deal with discrimination complaints. Harassment reports. Workplace conflict. I know what exclusion looks like. I know what it sounds like. I know how to document it. I just never thought I would need those skills at a family reunion. I have one daughter. Sophie. She is 7 years old. She has straight dark blonde hair that falls just past her shoulders. Brown eyes that are always watching. A quiet way of moving through the world like she is still learning where she fits. She is thoughtful. She is careful. She is the kind of child who asks permission before taking a cookie. Who says thank you without being reminded. Who tries very hard to be good. Sophie is adopted. We finalized the adoption when she was 4. 3 years ago. She had been in foster care since she was 2. Removed from her biological parents due to neglect. Placed with me as a foster child when she was 3. I fell in love with her immediately. Her quiet strength. Her resilience. Her hope despite everything she had been through. When the opportunity came to adopt, I did not hesitate. She became mine. Legally. Permanently. Forever. My family had said they were supportive. They had said they were happy for me. They had said Sophie would be welcomed. They had said she would be loved. For 3 years, I had believed them. Looking back now, I can see the signs. Small things. Moments that felt wrong, but I convinced myself I was imagining. I was being too sensitive. I was looking for problems that were not there. When Sophie was 4, my parents threw a big birthday party for my niece Emma. Same age as Sophie. Backyard carnival theme. Bounce house. Face painting. Pony rides. 50 kids invited. Sophie was not invited. When I asked why, my mother said it was because Emma did not know Sophie well enough yet. I accepted that. I made excuses. When Sophie was 5, my sister posted family photos on social media. From Thanksgiving. From Christmas. From Easter. Photos of all the grandchildren. Emma. Her brother Jack. My cousin's kids. All of them. Not Sophie. When I asked why, my sister said she must have forgotten to include her. I accepted that. I made excuses. When Sophie was 6, my parents took all the grandchildren to the zoo. A special grandparents' day. They picked up Emma and Jack. They picked up my cousin's kids. They did not pick up Sophie. When I asked why, my father said they did not think I would want Sophie to go. I asked why they would think that. He said they did not know. I accepted that. I made excuses. Small things. Constant things. A pattern I did not want to see. The reunion was supposed to be different. It was a big event. Formal invitations. Professional photography. Everyone included. Everyone celebrated. Everyone part of something bigger. The invitation had arrived in March. Thick cardstock. Gold lettering. It said, The Thompson Family Reunion. July 12th to 14th. Mountain View Lodge. All Thompson family members welcome. All family members. That should have included Sophie. She was my daughter. She was a Thompson. Her adoption was final. Her name was legally Sophie Marie Thompson. She was family. But apparently, there were different definitions of family. We arrived at the lodge on July 11th. Late afternoon. The drive had taken 6 hours. Sophie had been excited the whole way. She had never been to a family reunion. She had never met most of these relatives. She had been asking questions for weeks. How many people would be there? Would there be other kids? Would they like her? Would she fit in? I had assured her. Yes, there would be other kids. Yes, they would like her. Yes, she would fit in. She was family. Of course she would fit in. I had been wrong. We checked into our cabin. Unpacked our bags. Changed into comfortable clothes. Then we walked to the main lodge for the welcome dinner. Casual. Buffet style. A chance for everyone to arrive and mingle and reconnect. The lodge was beautiful. Rustic wood beams. Stone fireplace. Large windows overlooking the mountains. Long tables set up for dining. A buffet along one wall. People everywhere. Talking. Laughing. Hugging. Reconnecting. I walked in holding Sophie's hand. She was nervous. I could feel it. The way she gripped my hand a little tighter. The way she stayed close to my side. The way she looked around at all the strangers who were supposed to be family. My mother saw us. She came over. Big smile. Arms out. Rachel. You made it. Oh, and Sophie, hello. She hugged me. She patted Sophie on the head. Like she was a pet. Not a grandchild. Then she moved on. Greeting other people. More enthusiastic greetings. Longer hugs. Genuine warmth. For other people. Not us. We got food. We found seats. We tried to blend in. Sophie ate quietly. She watched the other kids. They were playing. Running around. Laughing together. She wanted to join them but she did not know how. She did not know them. They did not know her. She was the outsider. After dinner, my sister Carmen came over. She had her 2 kids with her. Emma, 7. Jack, 9. Same ages as kids Sophie could have been playing with. Should have been playing with. Hi, Rachel. Long time. Hi, Carmen. You remember Sophie? Carmen looked at Sophie. Brief. Dismissive. Oh right. Hi. Then back to me. The kids are going to play outside. There is a playground behind the lodge. You can let Sophie go if you want. That sounds great. Sophie, do you want to go play? Sophie looked at the kids. At Emma and Jack. They were not looking at her. They were not inviting her. They were just standing there waiting for their mother to be done talking. Okay, Sophie said. Quiet. Uncertain. Emma, Jack, why do you not show Sophie where the playground is? Emma shrugged. Okay. No enthusiasm. No warmth. Just compliance. The kids walked away. Sophie followed behind them. A few steps back. Not part of the group. Just following. I watched them go. Something felt wrong. But I could not name it. I told myself I was overthinking. I told myself kids needed time to warm up to each other. I told myself it would be fine. The next day was the main event. The full reunion day. Activities all day. Games. Food. Socializing. And at 4 o'clock, the formal family photos. The photographer would arrive. Everyone would gather. We would take photos. Individual families. Generational groups. The whole family together. It was the highlight of the reunion. The photos would be printed and distributed to everyone. A keepsake. A memory. Proof of who we were and where we came from. I made sure Sophie looked perfect. Pink dress with small white flowers. Her favorite. Hair brushed smooth. Shining. Clean shoes. She looked beautiful. I told her so. She smiled. A small smile. Nervous but hopeful. We went to the main lodge. Everyone was gathering. The photographer was setting up. Professional. Experienced. Large camera. Reflectors. Lights. He was directing people. Organizing groups. Starting with smaller groups. Individual families. Then working up to bigger groups. Sophie stayed close to me. She watched everything. She was quiet. Observant. Waiting to be told what to do. Where to stand. Where she belonged. The photographer called for the first group. Grandparents with their children. My parents. Their 4 children. Me and my 3 siblings. We lined up. The photographer positioned us. Adjusted heights. Checked lighting. We smiled. He took photos. Multiple shots. Different angles. Perfect. Sophie stood to the side. Watching. Waiting. Next group. Grandparents with grandchildren. My parents. All the grandchildren. Emma. Jack. My brother's 2 kids. My other sister's child. 6 grandchildren total. Wait. 7. Including Sophie. My mother called the kids over. Emma, Jack, come here. Michael, Sarah, you too. And Lily, get in here. 6 children gathered. They positioned themselves around my parents. Sophie stood up. She started walking toward the group. Ready to join. My mother held up her hand. That is everyone. Let us get this shot. Mom, what about Sophie? I said. My mother looked at Sophie. Then at me. Oh. Well, this is for the grandchildren. Sophie is your grandchild. Well, she is your daughter. Which makes her your grandchild. My mother looked uncomfortable. She glanced at my father. At my siblings. At the other relatives watching. Rachel, let us just take this photo with these children. We can do other photos later. Other photos? What other photos? This is the grandchildren photo. Sophie is a grandchild. She is adopted. So she is not technically a biological grandchild. I stared at her. Are you saying she does not count? I am saying this photo is for our biological grandchildren. Our blood relatives. Our direct descendants. Sophie is wonderful, but she did not come from us. She came from somewhere else. This photo is for the children who came from us. Sophie was standing right there, hearing every word. Her face was very still, very quiet. She understood. She understood that she was being excluded. She understood that she was different. She understood that different meant less. Sophie is your granddaughter. Legally. Permanently. She is family. She is family, of course. But this photo is for a specific group. Blood relatives. That is all. It is not personal. How is excluding a 7-year-old child not personal? Because it is about the photo, not about her. I looked around. At everyone watching. My siblings. My cousins. My aunts and uncles. 52 people total at this reunion. 52 people watching this conversation. 52 people hearing my mother say my daughter was not family enough to be in a family photo. No one said anything. No one defended Sophie. No one offered to let her in the photo. They just stood there. Silent. Complicit. The photographer was waiting. Uncomfortable. He had been hired to take photos. Not to mediate family conflict. He cleared his throat. Should I take the photo or? My mother smiled at him. Bright. Cheerful. Yes, please. Let us get this shot. The 6 children positioned themselves. My parents in the center. The photographer raised his camera. Okay, everyone smile. Say cheese. Cheese. The children said it together. Smiling. Happy. Included. Sophie stood 10 feet away. Watching. Alone. The photographer took multiple shots. Different poses. Different arrangements. 5 minutes of photos. Sophie watched the entire time. Her face was neutral. Blank. But her hands were gripping each other. White knuckles. She was holding herself together. Trying not to cry. Trying to be good. Trying not to make a scene. After the grandchildren photo, they moved on. Extended family groups. Cousins together. Aunts and uncles. Different combinations. Sophie was excluded from several of them. Any time it was a blood relative grouping, she was told to step aside. Any time it was a biological descendant grouping, she was not included. Then came the big photo. The entire family. Everyone together. 52 people. All the Thompsons. The main photo. The one that would be printed large and framed and hung in people's homes. My Aunt Patricia was organizing it. She was the oldest sibling. The matriarch after my parents. She took charge. Okay, everyone, let us get organized. This is the official Thompson family photo. Everyone line up. Oldest generation in the back. Middle generation in the middle. Youngest generation in front. People started moving. Finding their spots. Organizing by generation. My parents in the back with their siblings. My generation in the middle. The children in front. Sophie stood with the children. With the cousins. With Emma and Jack and all the other kids. Ready to be included. Ready to be part of the family photo. My Aunt Patricia looked at the group. Counting. Making sure everyone was there. Her eyes landed on Sophie. She frowned. Wait. Who is this? She pointed at Sophie. That is Sophie. My daughter, I said. Oh, right. Patricia looked around. At my mother. At my father. At the other aunts and uncles. Some unspoken communication passed between them. Then she looked at Sophie. Sweetie, can you step aside for this photo? What? Why? I said. This is the official Thompson family photo. Blood relatives only. We want this to be an accurate representation of our family tree. Biological descendants. Direct lineage. Sophie is adopted. She does not fit that criteria. I could not breathe. I could not think. I looked at Sophie. She was standing there. Hearing this. Being told she was not family. Being told she did not fit. Being told to step aside. Again. Sophie is my daughter. She is a Thompson. She is family. She is legally your daughter, yes. But she is not biologically a Thompson. This photo is for biological Thompsons. Surely you understand the distinction. The distinction is that you are excluding a 7-year-old child from a family photo because she was adopted. We are not excluding her. We are simply being accurate about who is in the photo. This is the Thompson bloodline. Sophie did not come from the Thompson bloodline. Therefore, she should not be in this specific photo. I looked around again. At 52 people. At my entire family. Surely someone would say something. Surely someone would object. Surely someone would defend Sophie. No one did. They just stood there. Waiting. Agreeing silently. Accepting this. Accepting that an adopted child should be excluded. Accepting that blood mattered more than love. More than legality. More than family. Sophie, honey, can you come stand over here with me? Patricia gestured to the side. Away from the group. Away from the photo. Sophie looked at me. Her eyes were filled with tears. But she was not crying. She was holding it in. Being good. Being obedient. She walked away from the group. She stood to the side. Alone. While 52 people lined up for the family photo. The photographer looked uncomfortable again. Ma'am, are you sure? The little girl looks. She is fine. Please take the photo. The photographer shrugged. He raised his camera. Okay, everyone ready? Big smiles. This is the official Thompson family reunion photo. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Everyone smiled. Everyone said cheese. Everyone looked happy. Everyone was included. Except Sophie. She stood to the side. Watching. Alone. Not family enough. The photographer took multiple shots. Wide angle to capture everyone. Closer shots of different sections. 5 minutes of photos. Sophie watched the entire time. Her face was blank now. Shut down. She had stopped trying to hold in the tears. They were running down her cheeks silently. But she did not make a sound. She did not sob. She did not draw attention to herself. She just cried quietly while everyone else smiled for the camera. After the photos, everyone dispersed. Excited. Happy. Talking about how great the photos would look. How nice it was to have everyone together. How important family is. Sophie came back to me. She grabbed my hand. She did not say anything. She just held on. I am so sorry, baby. Why could I not be in the picture? I looked at her tear-stained face, at her confused eyes, at her broken trust. How do you explain to a 7-year-old that your family thinks she is not real family because she was adopted? How do you explain that blood matters more to them than love? How do you explain cruelty that makes no sense? Because they do not think adopted children count as real family. But I am your daughter. You are. You absolutely are. Then why do they not think I am family? Because they are wrong. They are confused about what family means. They think it is about blood. About biology. About where you came from. But family is about love. About choice. About commitment. I chose you. You are my daughter. You are family. The realest family I have. But they do not think so. No. They do not. So I am not a real Thompson? You are a real Thompson. Your name is Thompson. You are my daughter. You are as real as anyone here. But they do not think so. No, baby. They do not. She was quiet for a long time. Then she said, "Can we go home? We are staying until tomorrow. The reunion ends tomorrow morning." I do not want to stay. I do not want to be here anymore. I know. I do not either. But we will stay tonight. Then we will leave first thing in the morning. Okay. Okay. That night, Sophie cried herself to sleep. Quiet tears. Silent sobs. She did not want to bother anyone. She did not want to make a scene. She just cried alone in the dark. I lay next to her, holding her. Furious. Heartbroken. Guilt-ridden. I had brought her here. I had told her she would be welcomed. I had told her she was family. I had exposed her to this cruelty. I had failed to protect her. The next morning, we left at 6. Before breakfast. Before goodbyes. I packed our bags. We got in the car. We drove away. I did not tell anyone we were leaving. I did not explain. I just left. On the drive home, Sophie was quiet. She looked out the window. She did not ask questions. She did not talk. She just sat there, processing, trying to understand, trying to make sense of what had happened. After 3 hours, she said, "Mom?" "Yes, baby?" "If I was not adopted, would they have let me in the pictures?" "Yes." "If you were my biological daughter, they would have included you." "So they do not like me because I was adopted?" "They do not value you the way they should because you were adopted. They think biological family is more important than chosen family. They are wrong. But yes, that is why they excluded you." "I wish I was not adopted." My heart broke. "Baby, do not say that. You being adopted is the best thing that ever happened to me. I love you. I chose you. You are my daughter. Not because you had to be, but because I wanted you to be. But if I was not adopted, they would like me. Maybe. But then I would not be your mother. Because you are adopted. Because I chose you. Because you are mine. And I would not change that for anything. Not even for their approval." She was quiet again. Then she said, "Okay." We got home. We unpacked. We tried to resume normal life. But things were different. Sophie was different. She was quieter. More withdrawn. She stopped asking questions about family. She stopped asking when we would see Grandma and Grandpa again. She had learned. She had learned that she was not wanted. Not really. She had learned that she was different. And different meant less. That night, after Sophie went to bed, I sat at my kitchen table. I opened my laptop. I looked at the photos. I had taken photos at the reunion. Not many, but some. I had my phone. I had photographed moments. Sophie watching the other kids play. Sophie standing to the side during photos. Sophie's face when she was told to step aside. I also had contacts. The photographer my parents had hired was a professional. He had a website. He had already uploaded preview photos from the reunion. Watermarked samples so people could choose which ones to order. He had posted them that morning. I went to his website. I found the gallery. I scrolled through. I found the grandchildren photo. 6 children with my parents. Not Sophie. I found the big family photo. 52 people smiling. Sophie standing to the side. Blurry in the background. Not part of the official group. Just barely visible if you looked closely. I downloaded the photos. Both of them. The official photos that excluded my daughter. Then I looked at my own photos. Sophie standing alone. Sophie crying silently. Sophie watching from the sidelines. I was an HR manager. I dealt with discrimination every day. I documented it. I investigated it. I took action. This was discrimination. Clear. Obvious. Documented. Exclusion based on adoption status. Different treatment based on biological origin. Disparate impact on a protected class. If this had happened at work, there would be consequences. Investigations. Disciplinary action. Termination. Why should family be different? I opened a document. I started writing. Professional. Clear. Factual. Like an HR report. Like a discrimination complaint. Like a case file. Title: How my family treated my adopted daughter at the Thompson family reunion. I wrote what happened. July 12th. Mountain View Lodge. 52 family members present. Professional photography session. Multiple family photos taken. Sophie excluded from grandchildren photo because she was adopted. Reason given: biological grandchildren only. Sophie excluded from extended family photos. Reason given: blood relatives only. Sophie told to step aside from official family photo. Reason given: Thompson bloodline only. Direct quote from Aunt Patricia: Sophie is adopted. She does not fit that criteria. Result: 7-year-old child excluded from family photos. Made to stand aside and watch while 52 people took photos without her. Child cried. No family members objected. No one defended her. Everyone complied with the exclusion. Then I added the photos. Side-by-side comparisons. The official grandchildren photo with 6 children. My photo of Sophie standing alone to the side. The official family reunion photo with 52 smiling people. The photographer's website photo showing Sophie blurred in the background. My photo of Sophie's face. Tear-stained. Confused. Heartbroken. On the last page, I wrote one paragraph. My daughter Sophie is adopted. She has been my legal daughter for 3 years. Her name is Sophie Thompson. She is 7 years old. At the Thompson family reunion, she was systematically excluded from family photos because she is not a biological Thompson. She was told she is not real family. She was told she does not count. She was made to stand aside and watch while everyone else was included. This is discrimination. This is cruelty. This is unacceptable. My family chose blood over love. They chose biology over commitment. They chose cruelty over kindness. I am sharing this so everyone can see who they really are. I saved it as a PDF. I named it Thompson_family_reunion_discrimination_report. Then I opened my email. I started adding addresses. Family members who had been at the reunion. People who had watched. People who had said nothing. People who had been complicit. 30 addresses. Family members who had not been at the reunion. People who deserved to know what happened. People who deserved to see what my parents and siblings had done. 20 addresses. My parents' friends. People from their church. People from their social clubs. People they cared about impressing. 50 addresses. My own contacts. Friends who knew my family. Co-workers who had heard me talk about them. People who deserved to know the truth. 20 addresses. My professional contacts. Other HR managers. People who understood discrimination when they saw it. People who would recognize this for what it was. 30 addresses. 150 addresses total. I attached the PDF. I wrote 3 sentences in the email body. Attached is documentation of what happened at the Thompson family reunion. My adopted daughter was systematically excluded from family photos because she is not biologically related. She is 7 years old. She was told she is not real family. I looked at the send button. I thought about the consequences. My family would be furious. My mother would be humiliated. My relationships would be destroyed. Bridges would burn. There would be no going back. Then I thought about Sophie. Crying in the dark. Wishing she was not adopted. Believing she was not wanted. Learning that she was less than. I hit send. The email went out at 9:43 on July 14th. By 10:30, my phone started ringing. My mother. Declined. My father. Declined. My siblings. Declined. My aunts and uncles. Declined. My friend Karen. I answered. Rachel, I just got your email. I opened the document. Rachel, I am so sorry. I cannot believe they did that to Sophie. They did. All of them. 52 people. And no one said anything. The photos. Rachel, the photos of Sophie standing there crying. It is heartbreaking. Yes. And they knew. They knew she was there. They knew she was watching. They knew she was crying. And they just took the photos anyway. Yes. What kind of family does that? Not the kind I want to be part of anymore. Are you cutting them off? Yes. All of them. Sophie and I are done. Good. She deserves better. You both do. Over the next week, responses came in. Dozens of them. Some people defended my family. Said I was overreacting. Said it was just photos. Said I was destroying the family over nothing. But most people were horrified. Friends. Co-workers. Extended relatives who had not been at the reunion. Even some people who had been there. They said they had not realized what was happening. They said they should have said something. They said they were sorry. My mother sent an email. 10 paragraphs. It said I had humiliated her. It said I had taken everything out of context. It said the photos were for a specific purpose. It said Sophie could have been in other photos. It said I was being unreasonable. It said I was destroying our family over a misunderstanding. I did not respond. I just forwarded her email to everyone on the original list with one sentence. This is how my mother justifies excluding a 7-year-old child from family photos because she is adopted. More people responded. More people sided with me. More people stopped speaking to my mother. My Aunt Patricia sent me a text. You have ruined everything. The reunion was beautiful until you made this about Sophie. Not everything is about her. She needs to learn that. And you need to stop coddling her. I responded with one line. She is 7 years old and you told her she is not real family. That is not coddling. That is protecting. Then I blocked her number. Over the next few months, the consequences unfolded. My parents' social circle fractured. Half their church friends stopped inviting them to events. My mother's book club asked her to take a break. Indefinitely. My father's golf group grew distant. Conversations were shorter. Invitations were fewer. My siblings tried to maintain relationships with me. Tentative. Awkward. But I was not interested. They had stood there. They had watched Sophie be excluded. They had said nothing. They were complicit. I did not want relationships with people who thought my daughter was disposable. The family reunion photos were distributed. Everyone who had attended received copies. The official prints. Beautiful. Professional. 52 people smiling. A family united. Strong. Connected. But everyone who received those photos also received my email. They saw the side-by-side comparisons. They saw Sophie standing alone. They saw the truth. Some people framed the photos anyway. Put them on their walls. Chose to ignore what they knew. Chose to pretend everything was fine. Others did not. Others returned the photos. Others declined to display them. Others could not look at them without seeing Sophie standing to the side crying. The photos became a symbol of who we were, of what we valued, of what kind of family we chose to be. That was 1 year ago. Sophie is 8 now. She is in 2nd grade. She is seeing a therapist, Dr. Martinez, a child psychologist who specializes in adoption trauma and family rejection. Sophie sees her every week. They talk about what happened. They talk about identity. They talk about belonging. They talk about how to heal. Sophie still struggles sometimes. She still asks questions. Am I really your daughter? Do you really want me? Will you send me away if I am bad? She needs constant reassurance, constant affirmation, constant proof that I am not like them, that I chose her, that I will always choose her. But she is also growing stronger. She is learning that their rejection does not define her. She is learning that real family is about choice, not blood. She is learning that she deserves people who value her for who she is, not for where she came from. Last month, we went to a friend's family gathering. A cookout. Casual. Lots of people. Kids running around. At one point, they took a group photo. Everyone gathered. My friend called out, "Everyone get in here. Family and friends. If you are here, you are part of the photo." Sophie hesitated. She looked at me. Uncertain. Remembering. I nodded. "You are part of this. Go ahead." She walked into the group. Someone made space for her. A woman I did not know moved over and put her arm around Sophie. "Here, sweetie, stand right here. You are just the right height for the front row." Sophie smiled. A real smile. She stood in the front row. She smiled for the camera. She was included. She was wanted. She belonged. After the photo, she came running back to me. Excited. Happy. "Mom, did you see? I was in the photo. Right in the front. The lady said I was the perfect height." "I saw. You looked beautiful. Can we get a copy of the photo?" "Absolutely. We will ask for a copy. I want to put it on my wall, so I can see it. We will put it on your wall, front and center, where you can see it every day." "Okay." She ran off to play. Happy. Included. Belonging. I watched her go, and I thought about my family, about the reunion, about the photos that excluded her, about the people who thought blood mattered more than love. And I thought about Sophie, standing in that group photo, smiling, included, chosen, wanted. That is what family looks like. Not the people who share your DNA, but the people who make space for you, the people who say you belong, the people who choose you. Sophie and I do not see my biological family anymore. We do not go to events. We do not take calls. We do not maintain relationships with people who think she is not real family. Instead, we build our own family. Friends who value her. People who include her. Communities who welcome her. Family is who you choose. And we choose people who choose us back. So, what do you think? Did I go too far, or just far enough? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want more stories about mothers who chose their children over toxic families, do not forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon. I've got 2 more stories queued up for you, both about the moment we realized protecting our kids means walking away from the people who were supposed to love them. Click on whichever one calls to you. Until next time, remember, family is about who shows up, not who shows up in your DNA.